Good afternoon,
all
sir.
of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Very good afternoon to all of you. On the behalf of RVS KVB and NAHE project, I welcome to our today's guest speaker and our participants. And before starting of today's lecture, I would like to give the brief introduction to our guest speaker, Bharti sir. Uh, Dr. Bharti sir is an agriculture scientist, work for over 40 years in agriculture and plant propagation by tissues culture in over 85 different plant species, including the rice, banana, sugarcane, ornamental plants, and plantation crops and bamboo. Since 2001, working in bamboo area for selecting high yield clone large scale propagation of bamboo in tissues culture, developing appropriate agronomical practices for the cultivating bamboo, developing bamboo for the various industrial applications such as the power generation, bioethanol, bio-CNG and charcoal. He developed a cultivation model for bamboo to suit industrial requirement by adopting high density plantation, early harvest and annual harvest of bamboo, and his has resulted the establishment of bamboo based biomass project with 1200 acres in South Africa, Philippines, and 2000 acres in Sri Lanka to generate electricity. He served as the consultant from the for the various projects such as cut flower production in a Shark region, floriculture studies in in India for Exim Bank project feasibility study for a biotech consortium India Limited, and Bharti sir associated with various program of NABARD, State Bank, Indian Bank, and many more, and he is working in the bamboo sector for the last 15 years, starting as a technological partner for the National Mission on Bamboo Applications, member in the Bamboo Steering Committee for Government of Tamil Nadu and Government of Gujarat. He has also served as a bamboo consultant for Inbar China in the area of bamboo propagation and cultivation, and he's visited the African countries like Ethiopia, Madagascar, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Africa to promote the bamboo cultivation. And Bharti sir is a founder director of Gromor Biotech, which is largest bamboo tissues culture lab in the world and producing 60 lakh tissue culture plants every year for exporting to several countries, and he served as a member of planning commission subgroup on on dedicated energy plantation and member in the exclusive committee of SSNICR, and his work in bamboo lead to the to the development of high yielding new clone by name Bima Bamboo, which is popular among the farmers and biomass energy companies in India and abroad. With faster growth rate and high yield of bamboo, Bharti is a pioneering of establishing bamboo plantation as a carbon farm to offset carbon footprints. He has hands-on field experience in the cultivation of bamboo for few acres of farmers' land and few thousands acre of industrial requirements. And Bamboo Center under his leadership has propagated over 70 lakhs of bamboo plants of 10 different bamboo species in the past 1 decade. And Bharti sir is the life member in the Bamboo Society of India. And recently, Dr. Bharti has been appointed as the expert member in a task force on the sustainable cultivation of bamboo in International Bamboo and Ratna Organization, China, and also appointed as the National Governing Council member of Bamboo Society of India. And now, after brief introduction, I request to Dr. Bharti sir to share his experience with the participants. Sir, welcome, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. I'm glad that I'm able to meet you for the second time. I think I all spoke to you somewhere around 10, 15 days back. And I was the opening batsman on the first day. I spoke on the bamboo cultivation. Now, today I'm going to talk to you more on the how do we convert bamboo into a commercial product? Very much high emphasis on the energy side of it. I mean, bamboo, by now, you all must be knowing bamboo can do quite a few things. I'm going to talk to you more on the energy side. Before I go into that, I'm sure some people have come and spoken to you about this, the incense stick. This is the incense stick, agarbatti stick. All the agarbatti is produced only with the bamboo stick. And this bamboo stick is coming from various parts of India. Northeast is a major area. But today, you know that we are importing it. Importing 80% of the material what is needed, we imported. From where? From China, from Vietnam. Good. At what cost? 1.5 lakh rupees, 1.25 lakhs to 1.5 lakh rupees. Even at 1.25 lakh rupees, 1.5 lakh tons of bamboo we import, and which is around 80% of the area. Now, this stick is coming from a country like Vietnam, which has got not even 1 million hectare of bamboo. India has got 13.9 million hectare, 13 times more. China has got 5 million hectare. We have got 2.5, 3 times more than them. But our bamboo, we are not able to use it because our yield is very low. It is not sufficient enough. So proper cultivation is not there, and they're not being fed. They are looking like a bison in the forest. Bison also gives milk. A cow also gives milk, right? Cow gives you around 4-5 liters a day. Bison gives you, if you catch them and drink milk it, it'll give you around half a liter milk. So we are treating bamboo like a bison today. I am treating bamboo like a Jersey. Jersey cow give you 40 liters per day. Now, once it is giving 40 liter, with the milk, you can give everything. Similarly, bamboo, to become an energy product, you need to have a good yield. With the present yield, it is not possible to burn the bamboo. You can make small handicraft. You can make mouse out of bamboo. This is a mouse, a functional mouse. This mouse, you can make it. Or you can make keyboard out of the bamboo. Nice keyboards. Electronic keyboards used for computer, laptop. And it's Wi-Fi. It's through Bluetooth. You don't need to have any wire connection. Still, it'll be able to work. But this product you can make and sell it, or you can make toothpick. But you cannot make the amount of electricity you need if you have this low yield of bamboo. We produce only 12.5 million ton of bamboo. 12.5 million ton of bamboo from 13.9 million hectare, which is hardly 1 ton per hectare. 0.4 tons per acre. Very low yield. National average is very low. And how much China is doing it? Nothing very great. Their average is only 3 tons. Because 3 tons into 0.5, they are producing more than us. But their industrialization is good. We have not done it. Now, technology is available. As I told you in my first lecture, technology available to convert this 0.5 tons per acre to 40 tons per acre. Like our sugarcane. Sugarcane gives you 40, 60, 70, 80 tons. There are people in Maharashtra making 100 tons per acre per year. Bamboo, we are talking 0.5 tons, 1 ton. It's a shame. Bamboo grows 1.5 feet a day. Sugarcane grows only a half an inch a day or less than that. Sugarcane height is not more than 8-9 feet. Bamboo 25 feet height. So that means we have not done enough agricultural work, agronomy work to increase the yield. Then we can convert bamboo into electricity, bamboo into ethanol, bamboo into petrol, bamboo into diesel. aeronautic fuel, or CNG gas. It's all experimentally tried and people started producing it, but the supply is not there. Simple incense stick, agarbatti stick, not available. Why you are talking high tech? We can send a rocket to moon, but we are not able to, do simple things. So why it's not happening? Because the development in agriculture is in bamboo agriculture is low. I shown you a toothpick. This is costing something like 25 rupees one box. 25 rupees one box. It is 25 grams. 1 gram is 1 rupee. 1,000 grams, 1 kilo is 1,000 rupees. 1 ton, 10 lakh rupees. This is 10 lakh rupees. You and me are buying it. We buy it, we keep it in the house, we use it, but we don't buy too much quantity. But we are buying it. Mind you, go to the hotel, go to the house, we have this toothpick, and sometimes wood toothpick, plastic toothpick, sometimes bamboo toothpick. Bamboo is sterile. It doesn't break. When you put it in the mouth, it doesn't break. So it's super material. But you look at the amount of money it generates. 1 ton makes 10 lakh rupee in the market price. This is hardly only 1.25 lakh rupees. Now, in front of this is cheap. But if you cut the bamboo, if you want to give it for energy, it should be only 4,000 rupees, 0.04 lakh rupees. Then only people can use it in energy. Now the challenge is, how do we make bamboo to produce at that low cost? Please mind you, China has become a big country today because they could produce anything at a low price. Laptop, cell phone, camera, plastic, our own Ganpati in the house, sari here, puja material, everything coming from China because they know how to make cheap. They know how to make in large quantity. That's the reason the cheapness is coming. Now we should do the same thing in bamboo because bamboo is from India. We are number 1 in the world for bamboo. We are number 1 in the world for the area of cultivation. 13.9 million hectare. The second largest fellow is only China, who's got only 5 million hectare. So agriculture college needs to really look at an increase in the productivity to make it available. I have been working on this. What I did my doctorate in agriculture, worked in banana, sugarcane, my PhD was in rice, all that crop, moringa, tomato, and cauliflower, cabbage, everything I worked. I worked in 80 different species. But when I saw the bamboo, 20 years back, I left all the plants, today working only in bamboo. Bamboo is the best crop. It can give you more money than agriculture. A wheat farmer can get 10,000 rupees profit. An extremely lucky fellow will get 50,000 rupees per acre as a profit per acre per year. A sugarcane farmer gets an average 35 to 40,000 rupees. A bamboo farmer, less number of farmers are there today. If they cultivate properly, the sugarcane farmer can make 1 lakh rupee not for toothpick making, firewood, electricity, ethanol, CNG gas. Now, if you're going to make toothpick, enormous money, I don't want to mesmerize with that. Let's go for something very fundamental, very lowest value, firewood, 4,000 rupees a ton, 40 ton of bamboo. You'll be able to make easily 1,60,000 rupees. Expenditure per year, 40,000 rupees. That is for fertilizer, 12,000, 8,000 for other agrochemicals, and then another 10,000 for the labor, 10,000 for harvest. Totally 40,000 is gone. So he can earn 1,20,000 rupees profit per acre. Let 20,000 also go away. You get at least 1 lakh. 1 lakh is possible. Now, to do this, we need the market. Market will get saturated fast. Now, I've been talking about this toothpick again. This, if I buy one packet of 25 grams, sufficient for 6 months. Correct? So 1 kilo bamboo is sufficient for whole family for the whole year. Not one kilo. 1 kilo is for 2-3 families. Now, electricity every day I use at least 5 units a day. 5 kilos of bamboo needed. And for a whole year, I need 5 into 365. It's around 1,825 kg of bamboo needed. Now, look at that market, which can produce more electricity. Cement. 1 ton of cement to produce, they use 300 kilograms of coal. 1 ton of iron rod for construction, for car making, for angles. All the iron ore, when you want to convert them to iron, you're using 600 kilograms of coal to make 1 ton of iron. Now, all these are replaceable with the bamboo because bamboo has got so much amount of energy. When you chip the bamboo can be chipped like this. This is chipped bamboo. The bamboo is chipped, and this chipped bamboo chips can burn with the energy value of 4,000 kilocalorie. Now, if you say, no, mine is sophisticated, I don't want this, I want a briquette, you can convert them into powder, convert them into briquette like this. This is a bamboo briquette. See them hole in the center? This is converted to powder, powder into briquette. This briquette is exportable. Now, this, if you're selling in the market, it's only 4,000 rupees. But this is 6,000 to 7,000 rupees a ton. Now, if you say, no, I want to go to the next sophisticated market called pellet, which is smaller than this, smaller than briquette, this is pellet. This is pellet. This pellet, you can cut them into, bamboo is cut into pieces into powder, powder into this. Now, this is 10,000 rupees a ton to 17,000 rupees a ton. So you're able to value addition do that. You can sell the bamboo as a bamboo 4,000 rupees. Chip it, they'll be giving another 200, 300 rupees more. Briquette is getting more and this much more. So it's giving you opportunity for you to convert them into product without producing the product. A post-harvest process itself has got an opportunity for startup. One of the topic is to see how where is the opportunity for you to involve yourself in bamboo. One, you can do the cultivation. Second, after cultivation, you can harvest it and convert them into product like this. Or you can also convert them into a good lumber, thick lumber, wood lumber. Bamboo is coming as a piece, round pieces, right? Bamboo, when you see normal bamboo is like this. And some of the bamboo which I developed called Bhima bamboo, which is more thick wall. So when you see this, it is also like this available. But these are the varieties I developed in the market is available. Now, this one, you can cut them into small pieces and after cutting, press them into a wood like this. Bamboo is round, whereas it's a wood like this is coming out. This is compressed wood. It's not chipboard. It's a bamboo is cut into strips. All the strips are pressed together and it is very, very heavy. The density is 1,200 kilograms per cubic meter, whereas bamboo, it's only 0.6. Wood, it's only 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, maximum 0.995. It doesn't float in the water, it floats in the water, whereas this is also lumber, same way, but big pieces. You see them, how big? Much more bigger is available. I'm not able to lift this. This doesn't float in the water. You put in the water, it will sink because it is heavier than water. The density is more than 1.2. Wood floats, mahogany floats, teak floats. A good teak floats in the water still because density is less. But teak is available after 20, 30, 40 years. Bamboo, cultivated bamboo is available after 3 years. After that, every year. 1 acre of bamboo, you can convert them into machine like this. I'll show you my video. I'll show the presentation. This can be converted into lumber, wood. How many CFT? 800 CFT from 1 acre every year. 800 CFT. 800 CFT sell it in the market. Teak is sold at 4,000 rupees. 4,000 rupees, 1 CFT, the low grade. This is be selling at 4,000 rupees a grade. This is going to be something like 24 lakh rupees from 1 acre. Don't sell it at 4,000 rupees. Sell it at 2,000 rupees because you're able to produce at 400 rupees 1 CFT. I'll come back to the cost. But even at 1,000 rupees, 1 acre of bamboo can make 8 lakh rupees. Okay, then you need to grow bamboo. How many acres? 50 acres if you grow, you can keep on producing for the whole year. If you produce 100 acre of bamboo, either you and your farmer or other people put together, then you can make 100 CFT. I mean, 100 acre can continuously produce 2 shifts. And then 100 farmers can get benefited. And you will also get benefited because farmer will sell it at 4,000 rupees. He will make 1 lakh rupee profit per acre per year. You buy the bamboo, convert them into material, then you're going to get benefited another 6 to 7 lakh rupees per acre. That's a benefit available through bamboo. But these are all the future product. Today, nobody can make out that this is bamboo. You cannot make out. Nobody. I've seen a lot of forest officials coming here and talking to me. And when I show them, they say it's some other wood. It's like a teak, it's mahogany, it resembles everything. So all these are possible out of the bamboo. Bamboo is extremely good to make any product. You can make towel. You can make the shirt what I'm wearing today. It could be, coat, blazer, pant. Raymond's. The Park Avenue in India is making pant and shirt, 100% bamboo cotton shirt for the last 13 years. Not now. I have a pant and shirt with me, which I bought in 2007, 2008. Now, extremely high amount of applications available out of the bamboo. But what is needed is the entrepreneurship, a startup. That's what the topic given to me today. So what are the opportunity for the farmer, our people to have a startup? Where is the market? Based on the market, your startup should be there. Let me go to my presentation with all these small objects to see that it is triggered for you. So I'm going to share my file now. I hope I'm audible to all of you. Should I correct anything or am I audible? Somebody confirms this to me. Is my screen visible to the persons here?
Yes,
Can a
sir.
host confirm? I'm not able
Yes,
to
sir.
hear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Your screen visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shivakumar Singh. Now, I did my doctorate in agriculture. I worked with the plants. I worked with plants to make more money. But unfortunately, I failed. I did my rice PhD, which hardly 7,000 rupees profit, 10,000 rupees profit, all this. Then finally, when I saw bamboo, I took up the bamboo. Today, I'm going to talk to you, how do we do the development of bamboo for the biofuel production as a raw material for the biofuel, as well as for the startup. Somebody wants to do it. I'm a startup, actually. I started working in bamboo as an entrepreneur around 25 years back. I did my PhD. Before that, I did my agriculture course for 10 years. BS Agriculture, MS Agriculture, PhD. Then I was also teaching in the university as a professor there. But did not give me much satisfaction. I could not achieve much. Then somebody pulled me out from this and the company called me to come and join. I joined the company. I worked for the companies and, 1 company, 2 company, 3 company. But finally, when I started the Growmore Biotech Limited in Hosur, I said, let's do something as agriculture graduates. That's how my startup has come. Now, that's the reason when I share with you, I don't talk only technology. I also know the money, how much investment to be made, What is the return? What is the profit? What is the problem with the people to work? Is it everything is possible? Certain things need a lot of money. Certain things need a lot of people. Certain things need a lot of bamboo, raw material. And this is one such thing. Now, today we see bamboos growing like this on the roadside or on the bund of the field. It's growing like this. Very sick looking. There are trees are there which are able to go down on the roots, but this is not there. This is dried and sick looking and not giving yield. All that is because we don't take care of that. I went to China. When I want to become an entrepreneur in bamboo, I went to China. China is like in a Mecca, Medina. You have to go there to learn. And when I went there, this is the field I saw. People are growing bamboo next to a vegetable crop. This I've gone to China maybe around 14, 15 years back. Old photographs. But when I saw this, they're cultivating it. It's not like our bamboo. You go to the the nulkol, cauliflower, cabbage, all that. Next to that you see them. Here we'll have like this the forest, but it's not the forest. It's a field. Please believe me, these are all the bamboo field. Look at them. The same building next to that, it's this kind of a field is there. Vegetable crop grown, but where is there? So bamboo is such a wonderful plant, fit for cultivation, but we are not cultivating it. It grows 1.5 feet a day. Unbelievable. When I saw it 15 years back, I left all the plant. I recorded with my camera and I started in the evening, 6 o'clock. Clock was starting from here, 6 o'clock, then it became 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, slow motion. It's a fast recording. It's morning 12 o'clock, morning 3 o'clock. It started from here. Now it's ended up in this place, 1.5 feet in one day. Tell me, is there any other plant in the world is growing 1.5 feet? When I studied, people told me, but I never realized. But when I saw it myself, every day it was growing. Then I said, let me check up whether it's growing in the night or day or night or morning or evening. I saw it's growing throughout the night and day. Oh my God, beautiful. Then we did the breeding to find out what is the best available species. What is the best clone available? Then when we got everything, it was giving different yield. Then we realized whatever agronomy we are doing for sugarcane, banana, rice, and cotton, we are not doing to the bamboo. We say bamboo can grow anywhere, everywhere. It's very true. It can grow everywhere. But if you want them to give more, you need to feed them well. You need to grow them well. You need to cultivate it. You need to irrigate them. You need to prune them. Soil earthing up. All that should be done. Then the bamboo become a commercially highly viable crop. Today we call sugarcane and cotton as an industrial crop. Or we call them as a commercial crop. Or a cash crop. Bamboo is much more than that. It's a cash square crop. It can give you very, very high amount of cash compared to any other plant. And the market is almost 10 times of the sugar cane. Yes. At the end of my 2 hours discussion, I'll show you market for bamboo is 10 times of the sugar cane. Sugar cane, we are growing hardly around 5.5 million hectare in this country. Today, we have 20% excess sugar. I think all of you know that we have 20% excess sugar, and the sugar is we are producing at 33 rupees a kilogram. We are not able to sell it because the market price is, the international price only 22 rupees a sugar. Where can you sell it? Other than what? You can post all these into India. Whatever price you say for petrol and diesel and sugar, we'll buy it. No other option. But can we export? No, because the market price is so low. But the bamboo, it's not 5.5 million hectare. Bamboo requirement, if you're going to produce energy today, the topic, we need 60 million hectare. I know you can't believe it. Even I can't believe it. I put the number several times, not 1, 2. For the last 5, 6 years, recalculating, checking the number with everybody. And today I'm working with a company like Shell to produce petrol from bamboo. diesel from bamboo. I'm not talking through science. I'm talking practical examples. They're going to put up. They are looking for land now in Gujarat and Maharashtra to put up a unit. To start one unit, small unit. How many? They need 25,000 acres to start one unit. Yes, sugarcane is 20,000 acres of one sugar factory. So bamboo petrol factory also needs 25,000 acres of bamboo. Once we cultivate that kind of a bamboo can produce 15 lakh liters of petrol every day. 15 lakh liters every day. And that's hardly 0.001% of the market. Anyhow, why this is not happening? Because bamboo was not growing well. It's growing small, and even after 3 years it's small, 4 years little bigger, 5th year you harvest it. This is the old and conventional method of cultivation. The modern cultivation is broiler chicken cultivation, where bamboo is converted into broiler bamboo. So broiler bamboo is ready for growth in 2 years. 3rd year onwards, you start harvesting, they again grow, and keep on harvesting. Now, this is modern method of cultivation. Once if you have that, then only you can think of doing energy from bamboo. Otherwise, you can make only toothpick and keyboard and the furnitures or small handicraft, all that you can make. But if you want to make big market, you need big quantity, very big quantity. Now, so for that, you need to manage the bamboo better. Better productivity is very important. If the bamboo is produced at 10 rupees and 20 rupees a kilogram, you can make only a handicraft. You cannot make energy. So energy can come if you can increase the productivity per acre. Not at 1 ton per acre, you should be 40 tons per acre, or at least 25 tons per acre. You can do that. How do you do that? Grow bamboo not as a tree, grow bamboo like a sugarcane. Sugarcane is a row crop. Bamboo should be grow crop. What I've did, I've worked in sugarcane for the last 40 years. I put all my knowledge, practice, everything into bamboo. Today, bamboo we are growing as a sugarcane crop. Now, if you know how to grow, then you could be a startup company who can go tell the farmers how to do that. Today, this knowledge is not available. Then there is nobody available in this country properly to tell how to cultivate bamboo. Really. I wish some of the people who are listening to me take up this as a course or study yourself. I've not done any course myself. I've studied, worked, practically planted for the 15 years, learned in a very, very hardship manner with loss of money, time, everything. You can also do that. You don't need to spend 15 years now. Within 1 or 2 years, you can learn this and be a consultant to cultivate the bamboo properly. Today, we don't have specialists. I myself need at least 100 specialists who knows bamboo cultivation to go work in UAE, to Malaysia, to Thailand, to Australia. I need people. I don't have. Now, if you are able to make yourself comfortable with the knowledge, information, practical, and then you could be there, then the bamboo going to grow like this into a line crop. It's an aerial picture of the bamboo field. Bamboo should be grown in line. Today, it's growing like a wild buffaloes. Here, there, haphazard, different species, different size. No, commercial cultivation is different. Sugarcane is not cultivated. At home, you may be cultivating 1 or 2 sugarcane for eating, but not in the field. Field is completely row crop. Tea is a row crop. Mulberry is a row crop. But in the field, mulberry is a tree. Tea is a very big tree. In the plantation, they're all put in a line, only 1 meter height. But the original tea is taller than more than 30 meters. But we don't grow so tall. So for cultivation, for energy, you should plant them closer and make it to grow. So bamboo can make many products. I'm sure by now in the last 15 days, a lot of people would have come and spoken to you on different products. All these furnitures, textile, laptop, structures. But what is the market size? Very small. Incense stick, I showed you beginning also. We are importing huge quantity of 1.5 lakh tons. I converted into, it's a species called tuldas, very good for this. I convert that into area of cultivation. It is 16,000 hectare of bamboo. If it is cultivated, the market is saturated. And 17,000 acre when it is there, the price of 1.25 lakh rupees will start crashing because excess supply. Supply, demand, price, highly related. As an agriculture economic students, I'm sure you would have done some of the courses to know the relationship between when the supply is more, when the demand is same, the price is going to crash. Now, this is what is going to happen to your incense stick now. Everybody is planting it. One state, the moment they plant 1,000 hectare, the market is saturated for the state. I have been supplying plants to a lot of people. I've been producing this tulip plant. A lot of people are buying it. I know it's crossing that. It's going everywhere, thinking that there's a huge market. The market is small. Where the market is there for this energy, petrol, no end to this. Ethanol, government asked us to fill 20% blending. Till last year, we were doing only 3%. Today, because of policy, because of increasing price from 30 rupees to 60 rupees, it has become 5%. It cannot go more than that. Maybe 6-7% it will increase, but it cannot come to 20%. Brazil is using not 20%, 85% in the fuel is ethanol. Now, we also should reach that. But can we keep on doubling the area of sugarcane? Sugarcane, I told you already, we have 5.5 million hectare. Bamboo can do that. Why? Because bamboo gives you 20 times more ethanol than sugarcane. I know you cannot believe it. Sugarcane gives you 450 liter per acre. Bamboo gives you 12,000 liter per acre. When it comes to that chapter, I'll tell you. Now, I can keep on talking about every small bit of bio-CNG gas, petrol, diesel, or the coal, or the electricity. This is a high volume product, low value for the farmer, but any quantity produced, it will never get saturated like a incense stick market or a toothpick market. It will never get saturated. And now, bamboo in India can replace all the fossil fuel. Which fossil fuel? It can replace coal. We are using 900 million tons of coal on an average every year. 900 million tons. Out of the 900 million ton, 200 million ton we are importing from Indonesia, Australia, South Africa. Now, let's do only thing. Imported coal will replace it. That itself you need 200 million tons of bamboo. Okay. 200 million ton of bamboo, what is the area of cultivation you need? You need something like 50 lakh acres only for coal, imported coal replacement, not Indian coal replacement. You think it's possible? Incense stick, 16,000 hectare. Whereas imported coal, 50 lakh acres. In hectares, it will be 20 lakh hectares. Look at the difference. One is lakh, one is 1,000. Only imported coal. Like this, we can keep on talking bio-CNG gas. In Pune, AgroGas is manufacturing this. And similarly, fuel, petrol, diesel, or kerosene, or even jet fuel for the rocket and for our plane, we need jet fuel. And all that is produced from the bamboo, 4 kilos of bamboo will give you 1 liter. I know. You might be saying, sir, it is like Jethro oil. Jethro was there. I also worked in Jethro. I know every bit of Jethro. It will give you 400 liter per acre per year. Bamboo through the shell, IH technology, it will give you 10,000 liter petrol per acre. It's a never-ending process. Not much labor. Good money to the farmer. A Jethro for farmer will not get even 7,000-8,000 rupees as a profit per acre per year. Whereas bamboo can give you. But people, we do not know today. I'm very happy in this course. conducted for you. They have also included a chapter, and more than including a chapter, they pulled out a person like me to come and talk to you who have been working only on this aspect. Electricity. Power is there. Power is comes from the water, hydropower. Power is coming from the coal burning. 1 ton of coal will give you 1 megawatt electricity. 1 ton of bamboo also gives you 1 megawatt electricity. So 1 acre of bamboo, 40 ton gives you 40,000 unit or a 40 megawatt electricity per acre per year. Huge. All technologies are very old technology. So electricity technology is very, very old. Ethanol. Sugarcane gives ethanol from the molasses, which is only 450 liter per acre. Bamboo has got cellulose. 65% of the bamboo is cellulose. That cellulose can be digested into starch into sugar, sugar into ethanol. That's the process. Now, why it's not taking place? If this is so good, if it is so true, it never happened in India so far. Yes. When I started bamboo 20 years back, I never knew that bamboo can produce all this. I've been learning, I've been developing it. Now, this is the way the bamboo is there in the forest. 0.5 tons only it gives. Here and there it's growing, sick looking. Nobody cares for it. We all think bamboo will grow on its own. No, nothing can happen. Now, if I don't eat for 1 day, I can't talk like this. Today I'm able to talk because 1 hour back I had a nice lunch. I can talk for next half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Then again I had a break. Then again need a food. Now, if you do that way, the bamboo, take it out from the forest, grow it like this. Farmers are doing it. Farmers are cultivating on a traditional method and they are able to get 4 to 8 tons per acre. It is not the jungle yield. It is better than the forest. But I'm not talking even this. We're talking about something systematically growing. We are doing precision farming in sugarcane, precision farming in vegetable, precision farming in banana. This is the precision farming in bamboo. In a precision farming, 40 tons per acre is the minimum yield. The potential of the bamboo is 100 tons per acre, dry bamboo, not wet bamboo. A lot of people keep talking of the wet. What is the point in going wet? My mouse is dry, my chip is dry, my toothpick is dry, all my bamboo what is used is dry. But when I harvest it, I should not tell in terms of wet weight. It should be a dry weight. 40 tons per acre per year. Every year. More than that. Bamboo is not perishable. Like a banana, sugarcane, or tomato, or brinjal, everything has to be harvested on a day, a particular day. I take it to the market. If I don't, I have to put in a cold storage. Bamboo can be left in the field without harvesting for 1 week, nothing will happen. 1 month, nothing will happen. 6 months, nothing will happen. 1 year, nothing will happen. You can harvest whenever you want. Number one. Number two, less labor. Today, especially after the corona, we are finding it difficult to get the labor movement. People are lazy. For various reasons, I myself finding it difficult to get labor. Now, we should look for agriculture, which is less need of labor. Bamboo is one. At the time of planting, you need more labor. After that, it's less labor. Now, then comes the question of, am I a farmer every day go to the farm and look after, or I'm an absent landlord? I sit in Delhi, I sit in Jaipur, and I want bamboo to grow in my farm. Then bamboo is the best, not the banana, not the wheat, not the rice, not the pumpkin. It's a bamboo. You could be absent landlord. You could still work in the college as a professor. Your bamboo will grow there. And you have to go once in 2 months, once in a month, once in 3 months. Then you go check it up, come back, and drip irrigation if it is there. Okay, one fellow can look after 10, 15 acres. You don't need to labor on a daily basis. And the most important factor, your son and daughter is not going to look after agriculture. Yes, they all want to have a computer job and they want to earn 20 lakh, 30 lakh rupees a month. And they want to go to US. They won't be sitting like you and me. And they can be also look after this bamboo because They need not look after this. Once planted, it will keep on growing. There are sterile bamboo which will never flower and die. So it's also suitable for them. More and above all that, bamboo is able to remove the carbon dioxide to a level of 450 kilograms every tree, emits out 320 kg of oxygen, which is what you and me are breathing out. Breathing in, we need oxygen. How much? 280 kilograms, 1%, whereas one Bima bamboo gives you 320 kilograms. Today we're making oxygen part. The person who's standing there is able to breathe better than all of us because excess oxygen there. Bamboo takes growing and makes oxygen, right? Now let's look at how do we plant the bamboo? How do we plant it? So how many types of plantations are there? There are simple one, which government is recommending today is 200 plants per acre or 500 plants per hectare. 500 plants per hectare at a spacing of 15 by 15 feet and 10 poles you can harvest. It will be 20 to 25 kg, but you have to wait for 5 years. This is a conventional, but still, this is what today NBM is giving money only for this. Let's be practical. I may talk all this, but the government doesn't give it. The NBM is not, though they know, they close their eyes. They are not able to give more than this. So they will give you subsidy for 2 hectares. So they'll be able to get 800 plants, or sometimes they'll give you 1,000 plants, always 800 plants. So how do you plant that? If you get into the government, you have to plant them at a 15 feet by 15 feet. The star marked place are all pit where the bamboo will be planted. And this is a drip line. You can put a drip, and so that irrigation, you don't need to waste the water for the 15 feet. Why? When the bamboo roots are going to grow only next to this, why do you want to water all the place and waste the water? And finally you say water is consumed by bamboo more. Now, this is 200 plants per acre and harvest after 5 years. Then you can get 40 dry ton every year. Right? How do you make the bamboo plantation to do? Yeah, this is how the pitting should be done. Every individual place, make one nice pit, clean the place for all the weeds, and make a pit and put the farmyard manure. Very important. One pit should be 2 feet by 2 feet, and or one complete full JCP disc should be able to go inside and remove it, and inside that we filled with this kind of a good amount of 2 CFT of manure. 2 cubic feet is almost 25 plus 25, 50 kilograms of cow dung, or a chicken manure, or a sheep manure, or a pig manure, or a sewage waste, or something which is organic. If nothing available, put at least 2-3 kilograms of vermicompost. Very expensive vermicompost. But then these are all not expensive. Compost is good. Then you cover up at the top and plant the bamboo along with some amount of VAM, Azospirillum, phosphobacteria, and add 200 to 200 grams of water absorbing polymer if the rain is going to be erratic there. Yeah. So this will be able to help you. If it is a pit of 90 by 90 by 75 centimeter, or bigger the pit, you increase the quantity. Now, after 1 year, the plant will grow to this height with so much amount of space in between the bamboo. Now it's not fully grown, but in a high density, it will be completely covered. But in a low density, which is 200 plants, it's so much further away. And after 5 years, if you see them, they are very tall plant with a lot of gap in between. People can go, sit and relax and all. Well, this is called a low density plantation. What is the medium density plantation? 1,000 to 50 plants per acre. The spacing instead of 15 feet by 15 feet, 12 feet by 6 feet. And now the pole weight, number of poles, instead of 10 poles, you'll get only 8 poles per plant. And 8 poles per plant, then, 9 kilograms per pole, you will be able to again get 40 tons, but you need to wait for 4 years. Earlier I said 5 years. Now it's come down to 4 years since you're in double the number of population. Now we also tested for a higher spacing of 1,000 plants per acre or 2,500 plants per hectare. Where the plants are planted 10 feet between the row, then 4 feet between the plants in the row. So it's called 10 by 4. Instead of 15 by 15, 10 by 4. What happens? The number of plant increases, the weight of the pole reduces from 25 kilograms to 7 kilograms. And number of poles, 10 poles, instead of that, it comes to 6 to 7 poles. Everything is reducing, but number of plant is increased, because of which the yield doesn't decrease. What is interesting is the bamboo is ready for harvest in the third year itself. That means in 2.5 years, bamboo is ready for harvest, especially for energy. If you're going to do energy, this blue color, high density plantation, is the right method of doing it, not otherwise. Now, how do you do that for energy plantation? Bamboo should be planted 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, but the tractor to go inside and come out, for which we make one row wider, 12 feet, another row 2 feet less, 8 feet, again another 2 feet more, 12 feet, and 8 feet. So 8, 12 feet, 8 feet, 12 feet, average still remains at 10 feet. So this is for the tractor to come, harvest the two bamboos, this side, this side, this side, this side, this side, then go out and come to this place and again harvest here and here and here and do that. Now, when you plant like this, the bamboo comes in a row of bamboo. And in a row of bamboo, you have 2,500 plants per hectare, which the harvest starts after 2.5 years. 40 to 50 tons of bamboo is available per acre per year. That first slide I shown you with the pit. Here there is no pit. In the line what I marked you, in this line, it is trenches are made. This is what the trenches. Trenches are made and trenches are filled with manure, organic manure in the bottom. And then the plants are planted in a row. And then the plant comes like this, like a sugarcane, it grows. It becomes a low row of bamboo, not tree of bamboo. This is what is needed. Now let's look at the yield. What is it going to happen? The bamboo will give you 10 poles, 22 kgs each, 500 plants per hectare model, and 100 tons per hectare per year. You are able to get it. And there is no yield for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. And the fifth year, it comes to the 30 tons, then 35 tons, then 40 tons, 40 tons, 40 tons. It remains constant forever. This is for a model of 200 plants per acre model. And the next model is 6,000 plants per acre model, where this 10 kg, 10 numbers reduced to 6 kgs, 6 numbers, and 22 reduced to 0.7, 7.5, and 500 plants increases to 2,500 plants. There is no yield for the first and second year. Then it starts from the third year, 30 tons, 35 tons, from 50 onwards, 40, 40, 40, always. Now, to make this to happen, what are the better technique of growing the bamboo? The productivity to increase. I said, like a sugarcane, it has to be cultivated, like a row crop, it should be grown, for which you need to have best bamboo species. There are many bamboo species that in India, over 200, 250 species are there. Out of that, commercially viable species are around 20 to 25 species are there. You have to find it based on the agro-ecological condition of your local place. Don't expect to grow a Himalayan bamboo in Jabalpur, Jodhpur, or you cannot expect the Jodhpur bamboo to grow very well in a Himalaya. So there, I'm telling you, very extreme agroclimatic condition, but there are minor differences also there. The most common bamboo today available is Bambusa balcova, Bambusa tundra, Dendrocalamus asper, Dendrocalamus hamiltoni, Bambusa mutans, and Dendrocalamus toxii, or Thyrostochys oliveri, Cystomatus tolua. Like this, we can keep on talking about the numbers, names, and all that. But all that bamboo we should identify, which is good for your climatic condition. What is the graph for the whole year? Don't say only one summer temperature. Look at the winter minimum temperature. So you have to look at the temperature minimum, maximum. You have to look at the maximum, minimum humidity. Bamboo is highly sensitive to humidity than the temperature. Then comes the water availability. What is the rainfall? And what is the rain distribution of the rainfall? Very important. Is it raining everything in June, July over? Or is it raining from June, July, August, October, November, December? More the time, more the month, less the water, it's better. If it is not there, then we need to give irrigation source. Could be river, could be lake, could be well, could be bore well, could be water conservation is done through which also you can irrigate it again. Well, then comes the question of sunlight. In Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, the yield is less, but they're green everywhere. The reason is the sunlight. They have good water, they have good land, good fertile land, everything is there, but the sunlight is very low. But all other parts of India, we have excess sunlight, less water. So sunlight also very, very essential. Sunlight cannot be produced, water can be brought. Water can be efficiently given through drip irrigation, but sunlight cannot be replaced with, like a foreigners, we cannot put a tube light and then a grow lux light in the greenhouse, we cannot do it in the field. Very difficult. So where we have a good advantage in India is we are hot climatic condition. Hot is because of the sunlight. Sunlight, we should best use it like a solar panel. But solar panel is able to give energy only during the daytime. Bamboo can give you day and night and day and night and day and night. So bamboo is very sensitive to the sunlight, so measure sunlight. So I repeat again, you should know the sunlight level, you should know the humidity level, you should know the temperature level, wind velocity is additional one, then comes the soil and water, along with rainfall. So all these, when you know, then you can identify the best species. Among the species, there are good clones are there. I shown you a bamboo clone called Bima bamboo. There are a lot of people are working in institutions as well as government institutions as well as the private people. They're all developing variety like how today tomato varieties are there, hybrids in tomatoes are there, or watermelon, pumpkin, everything is available. So like this, bamboo also has got coming up now. Now then comes how do we multiply this? Can we go through seed or a cutting or a vegetative method? But then tissue culture seems to be the best method, which has helped today the sugarcane to come back very well, the banana to come back very, very, very well. They are giving highest yield. When I started my tissue culture in banana 1985, nobody used to buy it. They'll say, like, I got a sakka, which is not even 50 paise or 25 paise. But today, banana tissue culture plants are 10 rupees to 14 rupees. People pay money in advance, they buy it. But same thing is happening now. Slowly people are coming to know that tissue culture of bamboo also is good. Then comes the agricultural practice. You right spacing, right manure, optimum water, needed fertilizer, and intercultural operations, harvesting at the right time, depending on the requirement. All these put together becomes a package of practice for agronomy of bamboo, which is really lacking. Really lacking. Maybe we do something for eucalyptus, but not for bamboo. Because eucalyptus come from foreign, so we respect it. Because bamboos come from India, nobody respects that. But bamboo needs a good agronomy. Other than agronomy, the spacing. I told you in the beginning that even now government believes only in 160 plants per acre, whereas the optimum is 1,000 plants for energy. For fodder, we are going to grow bamboo for fodder. 2,000 to 2,500 bamboo plants per acre, like a tea bush. It will be small, small ones. Anyhow, coming back to the water requirement, bamboo needs water. As compared to sugarcane, it is the same quantity of water, but the sugarcane gives you 35,000 rupees profit per acre. Bamboo can give you, even as a firewood, 1 lakh rupees. Rice, paddy field water, 1 acre paddy field water is sufficient for 4 acres of bamboo. So that if you give a drip irrigation, it's much more better. The drip should be connected to a fertigation, fertilizer application tank. So that tank, if it is connected, the giving fertilizer is much more easier and simpler, cost effective. It will be able to reach a farmer. But if you go to the South India or some of the Central India also, we find a lot of bamboos are thorny bamboo. Snakes will be there. Cutting and removing is very difficult. And harvesting, you need a special labor, and they'll ask you more than the cost of the bamboo. Now, this is the thornless bamboo. There are many thornless bamboos that there. The thorny bamboos are called Bambusa bamboos. Then another one called Dendrocolum strictus. They're not thorny, but they have got so much amount of branches. So they're non-thornless, but lot of branches. But there are good bamboo like Bambusa balcova, Bambusa nutans, Bambusa tunda, Dendrocalamus asper, Dendrocalamus hamiltoni, or Dendrocalamus polymorpha, or membranaceous, or Thyrostochys oliveri. Superb bamboo, straight bamboo, Thyrostochys oliveri. And like this, there are many new bamboos are there which are thornless, branchless, which are cultivable, which are good. What I did, I'm a plant breeder. Basically, I did my breeding and genetics for my PhD. So naturally, what happens, I've been keep on looking for bamboo for the selection, and we made a first selection called Bima bamboo. And that bamboo has got a thicker wall than the compared to the normal wall, bamboo wall. Then multiplication of the planting material. Best is tissue culture because they are able to type this free from diseases. There is no insects and there is no virus like coronavirus. There is no virus at all. And today, Government of India has made compulsory that all the bamboo tissue culture plant should be virus indexed. Whether the customer is asking or not, you cannot sell a bamboo without virus indexing. Plus, they also check the fidelity, genetic fidelity, and then they give you a batch certification. So every 10,000 plants is one batch. They take a sample, they test it. If it is not passing through, they will come and discard it. Now, because of which you're getting quality planting material. This is a research station called KFRI, Kerala Forest Research Institute in Pichi. And from there, I learned my tissue culture where I've taken mother plant tissues. Similarly, we also got a garden like this here. From there, the tissue is taken to the lab, cleaned for all bacteria, fungus, put in a test tube. They start germinating within a matter of a few days and few weeks. Then it multiplies. Then the multiplied plants are converted into rooting in 15 months' time. So in 15 months' time, one tissue will be around 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh plants. And it's all done on a commercial scale. As I said, I'm also startup unit. I started in a small way. Today, we make 1 lakh plant every day. Almost 100 lakh plants a year. 100 lakh plants a year and exporting to 25 different countries. And all these are bamboo plants planted and it's multiplied. And this is a way it's a growth room, it's growing. And after 15 months, it's ready from the lab, which is from the air conditioned room. Then it goes to a greenhouse for hardening. In the greenhouse, they get hardened for next 2 months. After hardening, they get exposed to the sunlight, the normal water, partial soil. Then they look like this. And this plant are taken to the polybag. In polybag, it's grown for next 3 months. So in 90 days time, it's ready as a polybag plant. So almost 5 to 6 months is over from the time of bamboo coming out to the tissue culture lab and ready for planting. It is put it in a layer in a truck and it is sent. It's loaded in a lorry like this and people come and load it. And after loading 40,000, 30,000 plants goes in a lorry. There are many species of bamboo which I keep on talking to you. Bambusa bulkova is one for construction, for energy and all the easy. Next comes the tulda, Bambusa tulda. Excellent bamboo or the right choice bamboo for making incense stick. And the Newtons, again the construction bamboo and for paper pulp, you can use the bamboos and Newtons. Then comes the Stocksy special furniture bamboo. This is grown in Konkan area and along the Western Ghats it's also grown. Then comes the asper, Dendrocalamus asper for a shoot, for a delicacy. This shoot is delicacy and the bamboo is also timber bamboo, the wide variety. Dendrocalamus hamiltoni is a fodder bamboo as well as the timber bamboo from North India. And Thyrostochys oliveri, it's a straight bamboo where the pole is used for making a pole wall jump or for making fishing rod. All that is made out of this bamboo. This bamboo doesn't break. It's such a flexible one. Then comes the Pallida for handicraft. Then Brindisi, again a cool bamboo introduced by Britishers when they are here in South coffee estates. And it's also that's meant for shoot as well as timber. Then the biggest bamboo, Latiforus. Like this, there are so many bamboos at this. I can keep on talking about the species. Let's come to the planting density. How do we plant it? The bamboo planting is done. This is a cooperative sugar mill which planted the bamboo way back in 2010, almost 11 years back. They planted the Bima bamboo as an energy plantation. Planting bamboo, normal is different. Now they are planting as an energy plantation. So today's topic is how do we convert bamboo to energy, which is what I'm going to talk now later on after the bamboo is over. Now, these are the bamboo energy plantations which are developed by them, and they checked up in 2010 with the wastewater from distillery. Not a good water. You can see the bamboo. It is grown into a nice little plant in 12 months' time. Our people are going and seeing the bamboo plantation, how it is there. In 12 months' time, when they superimpose the pictures of each person, 1% height, 2% height, 3% height, and above, the bamboo is grown much taller than the persons. That is a height which is almost 22 feet height for the bamboo. And how it is happening? Land is plain. The 12 feet, 8 feet, 12 feet lines are marked with a white powder. The JCP, which is there in the end, it is coming inside. It's able to come and remove the soil. At the time of removal of the soil, it is filled with, after the trenches, 2 feet by 2 feet, 2 feet width, 2 feet depth. And this soils are all put inside this farmyard manure, or all organic manure, cocoa peat, press mud from the sugar factory, or from the sewage area, or the pig manure, all that is mixed together and then put inside the trenches, the bottom. This is an 8 feet gap. Next is a 12 feet gap. So average is 10 feet. Now it's covered with the soil. The top soil is used for covering, not the bottom soil. Then after covering, the basal fertilizer of NPK is given depending on the soil test. The soil test will give you what is the availability of nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. Based on that, we calculate and what should be the basal test dressing. After the basal dressing is done and the soil is mixed, the polybag tissue culture plants are laid continuously with a drip irrigation along with that. It's getting planted, and irrigation water requirement. Bamboo needs 2000 millimeter water per annum. Per acre or per year, per acre or per hectare, same. It's 2000 millimeter. Now, 5.5 millimeter is the daily requirement. Whenever the rainfall is up to 5 millimeter, nothing happens. You don't need to irrigate the bamboo at all. They will be able to grow on its own. Now, whenever the water is less, then we should do that. The water requirement per plant is only 20 liter per plant per day. Now, people, when they have a lot of water, they also irrigate like this, which is excess water, and it's wasting the water. Whereas here, this is drip irrigation with drippers, 2 drippers per plant, and they're able to grow. And all the drip lines are connected to a fertigation tank. In the fertigation tank, we put the fertilizer once in a week, and they're able to get dissolved in the water and go there. This is the way the drip line is laid out, and the plants are getting planted. This is just 2 months old bamboo plant. The same soil, after trenching is made, we close the trench and then put the manure, and on the manure, the plants are planted. Now you see them, the 12 feet gap row. This is 12 feet gap row. This side is 8 feet, this side is 8 feet. Now I'll keep on showing the camera for next 3-4 photographs. Next photo is, instead of 2 months, it is 4 months. Grown up. Still, it is trying to form a wall of bamboo. And in 8 months' time, it's become a very dense, thick wall of bamboo. And the gap, 12 feet, is getting reduced to 2 feet in the center. And another 4 months, 12 months' time, you will see the bamboo comes to a height of, this is 8 months itself, this is 8 feet gap and 12 feet gap. Another 12 months' time, completely covered. Both left and right completely covered. You can see the bamboo pole, how much is formed. This is the way the bamboo get covered. So whether it's 8 feet gap or a 12 feet gap, it's completely covered. But next to that, the same sugar factory also planted eucalyptus to check it up. Look at this in 10 months' time also, still it's weak and sick looking plant. It is just opposite to this side. You see them the road and bamboo's the other side. So bamboo is the fastest growing plant, and it can be cultivated as an energy crop. But how difficult to grow? Bamboo, you see them, the shirtless person is the farmer. He's able to cultivate. And when he's able to cultivate, all these people came from South Africa. They went to his farm in Erode. They checked up all this, After that, they went back. Now they're cultivating bamboo in a very big way in South Africa. This is the harvesting of the bamboo. Normally, thorny bamboo, you need to harvest with the help of tractor or a JCP. Now here, one person is able to pull out the bamboo, cut the branches, and grade them according to the thickness and size, and the bamboo is completely cut. It is not one after the other, completely cut, which normally our forest department doesn't recommend. But we tested like this complete bald head, complete harvest. In this, the bamboo comes back easily if you are cultivating the bamboo properly. In 2 weeks time, it comes like this. In 4 weeks, it comes a little bigger. And in 6 weeks, they become a bush again. And this is the height of the plants, and it's able to do that. Now, this is the bamboo growth in 2 years' time, and it is ready for harvest. Now, this harvested bamboo will go for energy production. We will show you how the energy is produced. In the meanwhile, between the space, you can always grow bamboo like this with the beans. It could be local beans. It could be cowpea between the two bamboo rows. It could be mustard between the two bamboo rows. Can be even turmeric can be grown for 4 months. This is 1 year old bamboo and then a 4 months old turmeric. This is a soya bean in between the 22 months old bamboo. And this is a bottle gourd between the bamboo and a green gram in the bamboo, pigeon pea in the bamboo, wheat in the bamboo. You can also grow wheat. So wheat can be grown or it could be a border crop. When you grow a border crop, the root will go into the main field. We have to make a trench. And once you make a trench next to the bamboo, then automatically no roots will be there. Then you can put the agriculture crop and you can grow them very well easily. So fertilizer. Bamboo to grow, you need to have fertilizer of urea, DAP and MOP for potash application. Now, all these required fertilizer will be calculated based on the soil test, water test. So let's come to the economics. To cultivate bamboo 1 year, you need to have 1 lakh rupee. 25,000 rupees goes for the planting. Plantation cost will be 35,000. Labor cost is 15,000. Total put together 17,000. With the subsidy, drip is around 25,000 rupees. So totally 1 lakh is the expenditure. Second year, there is no planting cost, only cultivation cost and the labor cost that comes to 30,000 rupees. Now all put together, 100,000, 30,000 for the second year, then 35,000, 30,000 in the subsequent year, and the yield is 30 tons, 30 tons, 35 tons, 40 tons, and 40 tons, and 40 tons. Now, everything put together, 4,10,000 rupees for 305 tons, which means 1,344, let's say 1,500 rupees a ton of bamboo production cost. Sell it as a firewood. You'll get 4,000 rupees minimum. Sell it as a wood for furniture, 8,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. Construction bamboo for construction, 8 to 10,000 rupees. So like this, every price of the bamboo is going to go. As an agriculture graduate, you also should know that the bamboo also shows a lot of symptoms. This is a nitrogen deficiency symptom in the cold season, and this is a normal plant with no other symptom, no other deficiency. And this is a potash deficiency. The border is scorched, and it shows the level of potash. This is iron deficiency, iron and magnesium deficiency, intravenous clearance, and you need to apply ciliated micronutrient for this. Now, bamboo is able to produce shoots and grow. And while growing also, you have to do the thinning. Excess bamboo, if it is there, you have to thin it and remove those branches. Otherwise, you are getting a crooked stems like this. This will be pushing the bamboo shoot not to grow. And similarly, if you clear up in the bottom like this, it's better. But, the same bamboo, if you see the top has got a lot of thorns. So thorny bamboo, if it happens to be in the forest or in your area, you can clear up the bottom so that no snake, nothing will come, no reptile will come. Now, the leaf which is falling is decomposing on the soil, getting converted into compost, or you can also collect this with the help of earthworm. You can convert them into vermicompost. 1 acre will give you 4 tons of leaf. 4 tons of leaf when you compost like this in a vermicompost, and bamboo will be able to give you 7 to 8 tons of vermicompost. Even at 5 rupees rate, you'll be able to make 40,000 rupees per acre. This is all completely composted by now. All the leaves are composted. Now take out that and sieve it. While sieving, you will get only the vermicompost. All the worms and eggs will get filtered. Now, you might ask, sir, do we need a fertile soil? Or do we need a normal soil? Or do we need a alkaline soil? Can it be grown? Can we grow in a mine soil? All that is possible. Bamboo, this is how we grown in the sodic soil, and we grow bamboo like this. This is a matter of 1 year, it is able to grow. Then in a matter of 3 years, the soil become normal soil. So this was done for a sodic soil of 10 acres, and the soil was excavated, and when you put it outside, completely calcareous material. And then we brought the we brought the tractor with the soil, red soil, and it is planted with the drip irrigation. Fertigation tank was connected, and this is the growth in 2 months' time. And the same plant on 2 months' time. Small, nothing grown much, slowly it's trying to establish. In 5 months' time, they've grown taller than that. And then leaves started falling, which started changing the soil pH and organic matter of the soil. The decaying leaf released humic acid, and the decaying leaf is able to become a substrate for a lot of effective microorganisms which are able to change the soil. In 10 months' time, the grass started coming back. Wherever the leaf is not fallen, it is dry. You can also see here, the leaf is dry in the center. So that means there are the places where the leaf has not fallen because of the wind direction. Now, I was also visited this farm, this is around 12 years back, and you see them, the kind of a dark green bamboo which is found in the bush. You know, every time when the leaf is fallen, the cultivator is allowed to go in between the bamboo and pedal it, plow it inside so that the soil becomes normal. In 18 months' time, you see maximum amount of leaves keep falling. So this is good for bamboo to get corrected from the sodic soil to normal soil. And this is one of the good plantation of 9 months old, which is developed by Infosys as a carbon farm. They don't want energy. They don't want product. They want only oxygen and carbon farming. So for which, if you look at it, it has got 50 tons of carbon and 23 tons of carbon from the 50 tons of biomass. Carbon dioxide is 84 tons. It is able to sequester and releasing the oxygen of 61 tons. 61 tons is sufficient for 200% breath. And bamboo, because of which, is coming as an oxygen park in many places, many parts of India, especially in South India, very much is coming. And this is a typical oxygen park where a lot of foreigners coming and sitting and eating and going. This is in Mangalore. And bamboo, as I told you, there are a lot of products getting made, and we will go into the energy product production now. Why? Bamboo has got a high energy value of 4,000 kilocalorie, because of which it is suitable for production of energy. And the ash content is only 1% to 2%. That is one of the reasons why bamboo is a good energy material. And yeah, good energy material. And bamboo, harvested bamboo can produce electricity, for which you need to have 200 acres of bamboo to make 1 megawatt electricity every hour, 24 hours, and 365 days, making it into 8,000 megawatt hours. 8,000 megawatt hours will come from 8,000 tons of bamboo comes from 200 acres of bamboo. So approximately 1 kg makes 1 kilowatt current at a price of less than 2 rupees 50 paise, cheaper than solar panel. And generate employment. Solar panel doesn't generate employment for Indians. It's just for somebody in abroad. And similarly, bamboo also can be converted into ethanol, ethyl alcohol. And initially bamboo is brought and it is pre-treated with the heat or chemicals and makes the cellulose accessible to the enzymes. So rice, wheat has got easy approach, but whereas bamboo or any wood, they need to be digested. Now, once for that, heat treatment or alkaline treatment is able to give you the kind of product required for enzymatic breakdown. Now, then in that enzymatic breakdown, enzymes are treated, the cellulose material start releasing as sugar. The cellulose is getting converted to starch, starch is getting converted to sugar. So the sugar, then what happens, it will be fermented with the help of microorganism, converted into ethanol. Now, How much? 4 kilos of bamboo will make 1.2 liter ethanol. Yes, 1.2 liter ethanol. 1 acre can make easily 10,000 liter per acre per year. This is something mind-boggling, not known to many people now. And it's such a wonderful product because of which people are not aware now. If you see, the same bamboo also is converted into CNG gas. This is in Pune. And this is a fermentation column where it takes only 24 to 36 hours to ferment a bamboo. Once it's fermented, the bamboo is able to produce gas. 4 kg of bamboo produces 1 kg of biogas. And 1 acre can produce 4 to 5,000 kg of gas, not ethanol. Now, this is in the front itself, they have the bunk which is able to dispense the ethanol. Sorry, bio-CNG gas. It's happening. Now, then the next level technology in energy conversion is take the bamboo through pyrolysis process, do a gasification. After gasification is done, the gas is collected, converted into CNG, converted into clean gas called syngas. The syngas, with the help of chemical treatment, they become oil. This oil is called Fischer Tropsch oil, or this oil is called wood oil. So this wood oil, after it is made, is also giving you the charcoal as a byproduct. Now, when you put a bamboo, 20% is liquid biofuel, 20% is the biochar, the charcoal, then 20% is the non-condensable gas comes out, which can be used for burning or electricity or heating, any other application. Then comes a little bit of 15% moisture, what the plant is taken out at the time of growing. Now, this same technology taken by Shell company in Bangalore, converted into a IH2 technology process, and they were able to work on this for the last 15 years, converted into a pilot project which can do 5 tons a day in Bangalore. This is going on now, and with whom we have a collaboration. So bamboo can make a petrol or diesel to a level of 10,000 liter in a matter of 2.5 years, and every year from then. And similarly, there are a lot of people are working now on making hydrogen from bamboo, hydrogen fuel cell, hydrogen from bamboo. Then the bamboo can be converted, instead of all these products. Can we not directly use it as a coal? Yes, bamboo can be directly used as a coal, or can be carbonized, and then you call as torrefied bamboo. Torrefied bamboo is not like a charcoal, but it is in between the charcoal and the wood, and that torrefaction is simplest way to mix with the coal. Now, India, I told you, 820 to 920 million ton of coal we are using it, out of which 200 ton of million we are importing it. That can get replaced with the 200 million ton of bamboo. 200 million ton of bamboo is equal to 50 lakh acres of bamboo. That's a huge quantity only for imported. A country is going to tell you after some time, don't use any coal. All 820 million ton or 900 million ton should be only coal. Where will you go? But then bamboo is the only option available today. It can give you a coal above the ground, not like coal below the ground, and non-renewable energy. Whereas against the normal one is non-renewable energy. Now, look at this. This is a Bima bamboo chipped when it is wet, and after drying, they become a light, and space occupied is less. This is torrefied bamboo, which I've shown you. And this is charcoal, bamboo charcoal, where you convert completely into charcoal. So then it becomes completely like a char, or if you put a bigger piece, then the same size of the bamboo will come back. Now, Dalmia Cement is able to use bamboo as an alternate fuel in a cement industry. As compared to all other industries, they are the first to start in India way back 3 or 4 years back. And now they have become a pioneer. Now JK Cement is using it. And people like Ultratech Cement, Birla Cement, they all started using this. Now, why they did it is because to reduce the carbon footprint. I told you in the beginning, 300 kgs of coal is needed to make 1 ton of cement. Now, which means the emission is, global standard is 612 kg of emission per ton of cement. It is called it is called carbon footprint. Now, this is for the international unit. India is little less. Dalmia is 493. Dalmia say Assam operation, which is the northeast operation, where bamboo is also used, it's come to 330 kgs per ton of cement, whereas the globe is 2 times of that. Now, what they said, they are going to make the entire place completely neutral of carbon and to make a carbon neutral cement by 2030, for which they are working and we are supporting them at the corporate level. Now, you're all very familiar with a lot of places with sugarcane being cultivated. Sugarcane is used for sugar mill, and sugar mill produces sugar, and the sugar waste, what is called bagasse, is the energy product. Bagasse is converted in a plant, and as a fuel it is used. Excess power is converted, is given to the grid. Now, if you see the sugar factory, the sugar is the byproduct. Power is the main product because it gives you more money to them. Today, most of the people who are in sugar industry are all sick. They are not able to make any progress. Now, instead of sugar cane, or small quantity of bamboo can be grown, which will not produce sugar, which will not produce anything. Instead of sugar cane like this, the bamboo will come and they will be dumped in the factory, and they can use to produce power. I've taken now UP as a model to show you. During the off-season, sugar industry to produce power, the bamboo can be used. Now, you could be a startup company who can collect it from the bamboo, collect it from the farmer, and give it to the sugar factory. Sugar factory wants a supplier. They cannot go to collect themselves. So they want a technical entrepreneur like you guys who can really do this job. So if you see Uttar Pradesh, it has got 57 lakh acres under sugarcane cultivation. And they have 163 sugar factories to producing approximately 2000 megawatt of power for 6 months. After that, they closed down. They won't do anything. Machine is there. Man is there. Man is given a salary also. All the people who are working, they're given salary. But they don't use them at all. Now, bamboo, if it comes, they can start producing electricity throughout the year. And for which, if you cultivate bamboo, only in 2.2 lakh acres, bamboo is already growing in 57 lakh acres. And 2.2 lakhs only you need to cultivate. That's sufficient for this, which is hard. Approximately, if you see them, it is 4% of the area. So I'm not talking about saying bamboo needs to be replaced entire sugarcane. Let the sugarcane grow in 57 lakh acres to run 6 months. Another 6 months of the sugar factory will run with the 2.2 lakh acres of bamboo separately. And everybody gets money. So, as I told you, 1 kg bamboo produces this. This is the smallest gasifier. If you want to be an entrepreneur, a startup company, want to supply electricity for a village, if you want 5 kilowatt, this is a small machine. If you want to use 500 kilowatt, this is about the machine. You could be an entrepreneur. You could have small area of cultivation for yourself or no, but you can put up a machinery. This machinery will supply the electricity to them, and this is renewable energy for which the government gives a lot of grant for this. So what you'll be doing, you'll be planting energy plantation, and then if it is 200 acres for producing 1 megawatt electricity, process called pyrolysis, which is able to produce the power of 1 megawatt per hour or 8,000 megawatt per year. And there's a byproduct called charcoal. This charcoal is activated carbon, because of which it will be able to give you the cost of the energy plantation completely. Now, the same people who came from South Africa, they also went to many farms, and they also seen this particular field again in Europe, Upper Kodal. And you see the growth rate of the bamboo, how big it is. So when they saw all this, they got convinced, they went back to South Africa, they started planting the Bima bamboo, first time in South Africa. And the government gave the money to make this as a national demonstration of the proof of concept. Now, coming back to the economics, what happens? What are the money to be spent? How long it will take for me to do that? Now, if I've taken first 10 years, one moment. Yeah. I've taken example for you to show you the um, plantation establishment time. First 2 years, first year and second year. After that, the plant we need to only cultivate. Then harvesting starts from the third year onwards. This is the agriculture side of it. In the missionary side, power project we should put up in the second year. First year, nothing can be need not be done other than the plantation. Second year, we need to put up the power project, 1 megawatt power project, which will cost you anywhere from 6 crore rupees to 10 crore rupees per megawatt. And that depends on your technology provider and all that. Coming back to the power generation, the power is available the moment harvesting starts and the bamboo is available. So this is also available in from the third year onwards. Then comes the investment. How much money to be invested? So now I need to have a capital investment for two things. One is for plantation, another is for power production. So both put together 2 point plus 8.6, something like 10, 11 crore rupees is needed in the beginning. Then 1.5 crores is my annual expenditure for manpower, for maintenance and all that put together, 1.5 crores per year. Now, what is the revenue? What is the sales? What is the money coming from this income? The income is going to come from not 8,000 megawatt, you consider only 7,000 megawatt hours. 90% capacity utilization. So even 90% capacity utilization, you were getting 3 crore rupees in the beginning, then little more stabilization becomes the 3.5 crore rupees every year. This is one revenue. The second revenue is a charcoal which is coming out from this, which is around 0.7 lakh rupees, 0.7 crore rupees in the third year, and then later on it settles down at 0.8 crore rupees. This is a very low price I've taken. Revenue, total revenue without considering the REC, Renewable Energy Certificate. For every 1 megawatt, you'll get one certificate. For 7,000 megawatt hours, you'll get 7,000 megawatt certificate. Each certificate today is sold at 1,500 to 2,000 rupees, one certificate. And it's called REC, like a carbon credit. And I'm not considering that. Without considering also the profit before interest and depreciation is 2.2 lakh rupees in the third year and 2.8 lakh rupees in the fourth year. And fifth year it is 2.8, all put together 10.7. That is what our investment is. So whatever money invested, you are able to get it back in 4 years' time. After that, all the profit is yours. So first 6 years, the profit is going to be flow back with money with which you can supply, you give back all your loan, everything, and finally, from the 6th year onwards, you are free from debt. This is what happens. When you're cultivating a bamboo, I told you this cost earlier also, so I don't want to go into that again. This is also a repetition. So the bamboo has got, fermentable sugar of 65%. This is a test conducted at this place. And energy value test, I just want, this is more technical for other people. And this is what I was keep on telling you. Sugar is available, sugar juice is available through which you are able to make the molasses. And through molasses, we are able to make ethanol. Whereas in USA, it's only starch. Starch is converted to sugar. Sugar is used for making ethanol. Whereas in cellulosic biomass, the starch is produced and from the cellulose, starch is converted. Starch is converted to sugar. Sugar is converted to ethanol. These are all science. Somebody teach and put some machineries done over. What is important is 500 liter per acre is what is available as ethanol from sugar factory. Whereas in a maize cultivation, 3,000 liter per acre is available. Whereas bamboo is going to give you 10,000 liter per acre per year. It's a huge application. What they do, they take the bamboo, grow the bamboo, they take the bamboo, they process it. While pre-processing through the steam, it's cooked. After cooking, it is sized and then it is left for enzymatic digestion. And after the fermentation, you collect the distillates and then you separate them out. Alcohol separate, water separate, and then ethanol separate. The whatever not digested will come as a lignin, which is used for cogeneration to produce electricity for the own requirement and to give back the steam for processing the bamboo. So this is called cogeneration. So when you're doing a bioethanol project, what is the kind of a cost involved? First 2 years gone for plantation, then harvest starts in the third year. The equipments to plant in 1 year time, you need second year. Then comes the bio generation. But the investment for that is, 24 crores for the first year, 186 crores for the second year. Then operation cost is 25 crores every year. Then revenue from the ethanol is 81 crores. Now there's a price increase is there. So this will come to around 100 crores. Even at 81 crores, you need, after the profit and loss, you will be able to see the return on investment is within the first 6 years. You're able to get back all your return on investment without considering the subsidy. And you'll be able to get back. After that is completely a profit. And same way, bio-CNG gas. Bamboo can be digested not in 1 week, but 24 hours time, and 4 kg is 1 kg. And this is a plant in Pune. You see them in the fermentation column. All the bamboo which is chipped into small pieces, put into this, and there they get digested, and digested material produces all sorts of gas. And this CNG gas alone is removed and compressed. Then it is getting sold in the same place. This is going on for last 4 years. It's not a new concept of what I'm talking. It's all already there. And so because of this, bamboo is one of the excellent energy product. So before I close it, my last few minutes, I'm going to show you how a startup can be made to make bamboo as a lumber wood. This is the wood. This wood is made from bamboo. It's a factory. There's a factory in Vietnam. You see them, the cross section of the bamboo. This doesn't look like a bamboo at all. It's like a mahogany, teak, and the stronger grain character. Everything comes back. Not done. Resin, soak it for few hours. After that, like composting timber or bamboo lumber. And this is what most expensive one in the market at the moment, and can be easy to make it. This was a live picture. Bamboo culms, spacing, splitting, flattering, crushing the bamboo for the gums to go blue to go inside, then steam carbonizing or caramelization of the sugar to remove the sugar from this, then impregnation of the PF resin, then the cold molding or cold pressing. Then once the cold pressing is done, with the dye, it is put into a 180 to 120 degrees centigrade for 12 hours, then it becomes a spring. Now these are all very strong, and this is the original one which is split into bamboo like this. This is a pretty splitting machine. Then knots are there, the knot removing machines. Once the knots are removed, then it is autoclave to remove those excess moisture and then remove the starch. Then the color also changes. The more the time you give, it becomes a darker color. If you want to have a mahogany kind of a mimicking color naturally, then this is kept for half an hour. This is kept for 45 minutes. This is kept for more than 1 hour. So during the time, the color change takes place, which is used for this purpose. So here is the pressing machine of this, which you're able to get pressed from the top to bottom. Then this 7-time pressure is done with the help of 1 lakh ton pressure, and it's able to make a lumber. This is a finished lumber, but before going for the heat curing. This is a finished one. And this is a video of that. In Vietnam, this is getting done. You see the bamboo sticks. And this is the dye where they put the bamboo. And its length is close to 5 feet. They are adjusting both sides. Then they allow the things to get pressed. This is the pressing machine. It's starting the switch. It is going through that. It will come up with this. One lakh ton pressure. The wood is getting formed. Bamboo by itself 7 times stronger than steel. Now the same bamboo now compressed 6 to 7 times. Normal density of bamboo is 0.4 to 0.6. This density is 1.2, 3 times more than the normal bamboo. So this is eco-friendly. At the same time makes a wood replacement. Instead of getting wood from, it's all done now. You see them, such a big lumber has come now from the wood. Instead of getting wood from Malaysia, it's coming from inside. Now, believe me, bamboo is going to be the next disruptive technology to dominate the future. Yes, I believed it 15 years back. Started working through biotechnology, agriculture, through the industry, and I'm reaping the benefit today. Every day I'm talking to different people. Yesterday I was giving a presentation in Malaysia, and this Saturday again I'll be talking in the Bamboo Society of India for cultivation of bamboo like this. So all these are because bamboo is going to be the next future product. How internet is there, how cell phone is there, that's the way bamboo is going to come.
Sorry for interrupting, sir. Bharti sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yeah, I've just completed my presentation. Are you not audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, I've completed my presentation.
Okay, sir.
I'm just leave the floor open for question and answer session.
Okay, sir. Dear participants, any question regarding the lecture, please you can ask to Bharti sir.
Audible? Hello, sir.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, myself Saiteja, myself Saiteja from FRI University. I'm doing masters. Sir, it's really a
Okay.
nice information lecture, and
Thank you.
Sir, I was and the lecture was very informative, was very good, and I have understood everything.
Thank you.
I was have a
Thank you.
dissertation course, my dissertation course on bamboo. Can I get a chance to visit and
Great.
to
Excellent.
explore with you along with your society?
What is the topic?
No, sir, not yet decided, but
Come
I am
again?
thinking to own bamboo, my own interest in bamboo.
Okay, great, great. Not only your interest, the whole world interest is going to be towards bamboo, I'll tell you. There are a lot of things are going to be getting done with the bamboo. So, you know, good.
Interesting. Sir, can I get a, sir? Can I get a chance, sir, to go or to explore with your society and association?
Your voice is breaking. If you don't mind, you can just say once more so that it's audible.
Sir, you're audible.
Yes, in between it's coming and going. Okay, in between it is appearing and then it's going. Okay. Is this better by any chance?
I think, sir, Sajita is unable, some network issue. So, any other
Okay.
participants want to ask question? Please ask to sir.
Yeah, I can read some of the questions are put already in the box. I can just keep talking, tell them, I can keep replaying that. Number one is, sir, how much is the scope in multi-cropping practice with the bamboo? Yes, bamboo can be used as a multiple cropping pattern, provided if you give a lot of space between the bamboo. The conventional spacing of 15 feet between two bamboo rows, sufficient for intercropping for first 2 years. If you're able to increase the row width by a little more longer, by 25 feet and 30 feet, you can do all the crop. Even you can make a summer crop, which normally summer no crops is able to grow. But while doing that, careful about the roots of the bamboo coming into the cropping area. So cropping area will be in the center bed where you should keep them free from the bamboo roots. Then you can do the multiple cropping plants very well. But nothing can grow on the bamboo. But then it means the bamboo, the microclimate is changed. The temperature is reduced, the humidity is increased, velocity is brought down, and microclimate is changed, which is helpful for other crops to grow. Go ahead. Okay. I'm not able to hear, but then I can read the next question. Email ID I have already given. The next question is the process of banana tissue culture and bamboo tissue culture is same or different? I think it's same, little more difficult than the banana tissue culture. I started working in banana tissue culture in 1985 for commercial scale, and because of which I'm very thorough in banana. Bamboo I'm working only for the last 20 years. So both are same, but there are differences. The efficiency of operation and the media is different. The way in which it is multiplied is different. So because of that, bamboo is little difficult than banana, but to me both are okay, no problem at all. And pyrolysis in bamboo is done. Yes. Bhima bamboo pyrolysis. Also, IIT Bombay also checked the bamboo for pyrolysis. There are almost 7-8 papers are there in India. More than 50 to 60 papers are available, research paper available on the pyrolysis of bamboo. Now, pyrolysis of bamboo commercially is going on in India, in Guwahati, where they are making biscuits from the gas of bamboo pyrolysis. The bamboo is used for producing the pyrolysis pyrolysis used for making bamboo gas. That syngas is used for firing the biscuit making company of ITC, where they're making around 6 lakh to 7 lakh biscuits. I've seen personally a good friend of mine, they're doing in Guwahati. There's a big unit. The smaller units also there. They're also doing a lot of things on this pyrolysis of bamboo. So the research papers are there. Applications also available. What about next question is Piyush is asked where he's asking about the research gaps in bamboo energy. See, depending on the energy, like pyrolysis is well standardized, while ethanol still there is a gap. The pre-treatment is not fully perfected. The enzymes requirement is not fully perfected in ethanol for bamboo ethanol. The age of the bamboo, the content of cellulose versus the recovery rate is not fully standardized. Right now, people are using only old bamboo and a higher quantity of enzymes, because of which is very expensive. There are a lot of scope for bamboo energy area, and you can very well definitely do it. I think this question is asked by Arjun, right? And Piyush has asked for where can I get farming training done? Okay, there is no particular place available today for farm training of bamboo. It's only the bits and pieces available here and there. And I myself going to talk on the bamboo farming and then economics the coming Saturday on by 10:30 at this Bamboo Society of India. And other than that, there is no special courses available today. And I think there's a big gap. Somebody can start it, and some university can start it about bamboo cultivation, like how we do for other crops. The Piyush is asked where I get bamboo farming training. Yeah. Then Arjun is asking, sir, which area in bamboo required more research currently? I think one need to do. Yeah, I think all the area need bamboo, because bamboo is such a virgin area for breeding of bamboo, for agronomy of bamboo, for application conversion of bamboo, and it's all independently done by a lot of people. For example, Shell is making research for 15 years to convert biomass into petrol and diesel. That itself is a still lagging area. Though they have done it, they are able to use 4 kilos to convert into 1 liter petrol. You can further improve it. And there's one area. Other area is you can do a lot of agronomical research. And the species itself, we are not done enough breeding to find out what is the selection available. For example, Bambusa bulko, in which I am working, we have developed a clone called Bhima. There is no other clones available. Similarly, Tulda, the species, there is no clones available. So genetic purity is mixed population. It's open pollinated population with a lot of segregation. So one has to really make out a clone and then make them as available with the yield data, everything as per the industrial requirement. So that's one more area of research to be done. Then another area is how bamboo can be grown in, with the sewage water, or can be grown as a phytoremediation. It's also bits and pieces are there, but we can really put together and make bamboo to grow very well in mine soil, ash dump soil, or unwanted waste oil. All that one can do trial, and research could be taken up in that area.
Any other questions, dear participants? Okay. Sir, I think there is no question
Okay.
regarding that. So now it's time to conclude our session, sir. So, sir, thank you for nice presentation and your valuable knowledge, sir. Once again, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Okay. So shall we close our lecture?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.